These are what you call snowman goggles, man. Feel me? When I put this hat on, I go into full character. Ready? Boom. See that? All right, guys. Let's have some fun. It's Ravens week. What you got? What you got? Who's first? Who's first?
When did the obsession with the goggles start?
The obsession?
Yeah, or the enjoyment of wearing them, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, when I put the goggles on during the game, I think it was the Patriots game, you know, because I've always called it snow gear. You know, I have a snow store where they sell the snow gear. I'm like, it just all works in the aura of me. So, you know, I said, why not, bro? Like, if I could make a shirt, let me hit up Oakley and figure out where the manufacturer are and get the goggles. So that's what we got. The real deal soda peel, Maddie. But it's cool. I enjoy doing what I do, and the Mafia supports me. So I see a lot of people in the stands with goggles on during the game, and it's supposed to be negative. So, you know, if you want to be a little swaggier than the usual, you might as well grab a little bit of snow goggles from your boy.
Dion, 4 years ago today, Aaron's pick 6 against the Ravens. What do you remember about that moment, that play?
Remember, it's in the past. You know, it's in the past. You know, like, all I've been hearing about is that. You know, if we talk about that, you know, we can't live in the past in that sort, because it was a great play. But, you know, we have to do so many different things for this time for it to work, you know. And Tara knows it. Like, we were actually just speaking about that in the locker room, that, like, you know, a lot of people are like, that's like their highlight from the last time, is that pick 6, which is a beautiful play. But, you know, Lamar is a totally different player. They have a totally different team. They have a totally different offense. They have totally different weapons. And not to say that it'll never happen again. It can happen at any time, but, you know, that's not the importance of what we're thinking about in this week. We're thinking about going out, executing, and being the best version of the Buffalo Bills.
You described last week as organized chaos.
It is.
You described this week. Same thing?
Yeah, it's organized chaos, just with capital letters. But yes, because you know, like, sometimes chaos is a good thing, but when it's structured and pointed the right direction and ran the right way, it's a good outcome.
What are the challenges Baltimore's defensive front present?
A lot of different bullets. They do a lot of different schemes, a lot of different moving parts, which a lot of defenses do. I know, and that you guys hear that like often, but, like, they do a lot of things with their backers, where they're blitzing a gap, or they're bringing a safety, or they're bringing two to a side, or you know, just being the Ravens. Like, they're all over the place with effort and energy, which is what we have to match. We have to match and, you know, hit them straight on, and just be prepared of the moving parts, because that's what their defense does well. They get you on their toes, and they'll get you thinking that it's coming here, but it's really coming here, instead of, you know, sticking to what we do best. It could trick you if you aren't studying, but we do a good job of studying.
Did Terrell Bernard talk to, when he gave his speech a couple days ago, or yesterday I think it was actually the whole team, or just the defense?
Defense. Yeah, defense. What did he talk about?
I want to ask you about Matt Milano.
Yeah.
Aside from that, you've known him for so long. I know he plays on the other side of the ball, but personally, have you noticed the last couple of weeks the old Matt Milano kind of rearing its head?
Yeah, you know, Milano had a serious injury, and every week that he's present, every week that he's on the field, you're going to start to see him become more of his true original self. That's the nature of being human. Like, you become not a rookie again, but you become kind of baby deer-legged. And then as you start to walk and you start to practice, then you become into that big buck. So it's Milano is Lano. Like, he's in the weight room. He's here all day. He's doing extra treatment. He's doing extra things, and he's building his confidence. So yes, I've seen Milano get back into his groove. You are correct. I have been with Milano for 8 years. You know, like, we came in together. That was my roommate when we lived in the Armored Heights. Like, day one together, it was with Lano, and I see him, and he's becoming more and more of, you know, all-pro Lano every day. That he's, you know, out here playing and practicing and getting back to his ones and twos.
What about seeing Trey?
Trey, yeah, I can't wait to see Trey, man. I can't wait to see Trey and hear his voice, man. You know, I'll be happy to see him. I know that he'll be happy to see us too. And all love and respect for the bro. Good dude, good family, great kids. Trey White, you know, Trey White, Goalie Academy, you know, it's here forever.
How have you seen Josh change as a leader this season?
Josh is more vocal, but he's staying in his means. Like he's not gonna say, everybody listen up. Like, that's not Josh, but he's gonna be more vocal in the little jabs that need to be jabbed on. But Josh is Josh. Like, he's not drastically different. Like, he's not this different person. He's just, I would say, maybe more confident. Like, Josh is more confident with who he truly is. And, you know, that's the full around thing, you know, on the field, off the field, during a game. You know, Josh is.
How would you describe the command that he has in a room when he takes it over?
How do I?
Just his presence when he is vocalizing things and guys are listening.
Yeah.
How would you describe that?
Yeah, Josh is just like one of those guys that, you know, like, when he appears and when he's present, he draws attention. When he speaks, you have to listen no matter what, because of what he does on the football field. Like, he's shown it, he's done it, he's backed up what what he's spoke on. Like Josh goes out there and plays his heart out every game. He gets the O-line out of trouble. He puts receivers in good position. He gets the running backs the ball, and he just does everything he's supposed to. But his presence is, like, it's dominant, and he has, like, a dominant presence. And we all know, like, people that, you know, like, when they walk around, like, oh, like, yeah, that energy is it needs its respect. And he's just one of those guys that when he's present and when he's talking, you listen, and if he's there, you watch. Because if Josh started throwing the ball around now, everybody's heads will start turning like, oh, look, Josh is, you know, he's just getting to his fundamentals. Yeah, he's locked, right? Like, that's just what it is.
This time of year, just heading into a game like this, I'm sure different players react differently to it. Some probably get a little tighter, a little more nervous. Do you feel like it's more fun? Do you feel like it maybe makes you even looser? Is that possible?
Do you see me right now?
That's what I mean.
I got goggles on at a press conference.
I know.
You asking me, do I feel more loose and free? I am free, my dog. I'm free, yes.
Do you embrace how fun this is?
Of course. I'm having the most fun in my life. And I am present in the time that we're in right now. I know what's going on. Like, this is history being written right now. And I know the moment that we're in. And, you know, me, I'm just taking, not advantage, but I'm taking being present in the moment. Like, I'm embracing what's going on. I'm not trying to be too cool for it. I'm just Dion. I am just Dion. But yes, yeah, I am more comfortable. Of course, you have nerves because, you know, we're in elimination rounds. This is what football is. Like, this ain't, you know, the best of 5 games or the best of 4 games, the best of 3. No, this is elimination chamber. So it's thought of, but it's not harped on. Like, you have that in your head because that's the situation that is in front of us. But besides that, I'm free, calm, cool, and no, I am D-Dog, and I'm gonna be myself.
Yeah, when you were talking about that Tarrant pick 6, you said that you remember that it's in the past. Week 4 game was also in the past, although a little bit more recent. When you look at that game,
What a
you
guy.
guys almost have to put it to the side because of the way it played out and how different the teams are now? Or do you take a little bit from that game, remember how badly those guys beat you, and use that as even just 1% of extra motivation for this week?
You know, a loss is a loss, a win is a win. Of course, you learn from your losses and you learn from your wins. But during the duration of the football season, a lot of things have changed. And now we get to play them when we're at our best.
Yeah, a little more. They used to play him as a big nickel. Now, more just safety. Still the same, great player that he is. Amazing in the run game. Amazing in the pass game, So obviously they have a lot of key guys on defense that I guess you could say their roles have changed a little bit as the season has gone on, but they're still the same team that's playing really well together, disciplined, flying to the ball, all around just good ball from them.
Humphrey, his role really, I don't think, has changed. He's pretty much in the slot, so just kind of see him when they play man.
Yeah.
Kind of what stands out when you watch Marlon Humphrey versus other slot corners.
Yeah, he's quick. Has a little speed too. Aggressive. Not the biggest, but still plays. Tries and plays big. So like I said, I think he's very. His technique is very solid, and I said before, he likes to get physical as well. Even though size, isn't up there. I'm speaking on the rest of his secondary, like the rest of them, but he still plays very physical. So. Just got to, buckle up and be ready for that.
What was you guys' lowest scoring output of the season? Just when you guys went back and watched the film on that game, what stood out that they did well, that you guys didn't do so well? And how much do you actually sort of take from that game, considering it was 4 months ago at this point?
Yeah, I think they just executed better than us at the end of the day. We didn't play our best. That day they showed up and they were the better team. Just overall. From just being where you're supposed to be, executing your job, doing your 1/11th, they did better than us, back in week 4. So obviously, like you said, there's been a lot of time since then. So a lot of it is making sure that we don't make those same mistakes again, come out fast start, and, finish from start to the end.
What do you feel like you guys have grown most from that game?
I would say just playing together, communication as well. Like I said, togetherness, making sure that everybody is doing their 1/11th and not worrying about, somebody else's job. When you get on the field, do your job. And, it takes all 11 guys. And like I said, the first time we played them, not enough of us were doing our individual job, throughout a play to make that work. And we've grown a lot in that, category since then.
Any, off-season training, extra training to help your balance? Standing on balls or you do any funky stuff for your balance?
Nah, I promise you, if you told me to stand up and stand on one leg right now, I would look terrible. I don't do single leg balance or anything like that. Actually, in the training room, I do a lot of balance stuff, and I'm awful at it. So I don't know. I don't know how it works. I know I've said this before. Back in college, my receiver coach during routes on air and stuff like that would have a medicine ball, and we'd run a route, and he'd throw the medicine ball at us, and you either make a move or get hit by a big a medicine ball. So I would say that definitely helps out a lot. But straight up balance work, I don't do too much of it.
The punt returning, obviously you hadn't done that in quite a while. Worked out pretty well. How much fun was that? Was it was it difficult doing it for the first time in a long time in a game?
It definitely takes a little bit to get used to once you don't do it for a while. But Smiley and Hark, our special teams guys, they getting down to the stadium every day after practice and just catching, multiple punts, no matter what the weather is. I know last week, throughout the week, it was colder than it was going to be on game day. So I knew that if I could go down there and catch on those days and feel comfortable catching on those days, then come game day, I'll be ready to go. So it was just a lot of extra work throughout the week to be ready to go for that.
Did you play baseball as a kid, outfield?
No, I did one baseball camp probably when I was in 4th grade and was terrible. So I stayed away from it.
Well, how has Josh grown in his leadership this season?
Yeah, I think just, his communication with guys and really making sure that if there's something that doesn't feel right or a question within a play, making sure that, you know, he makes sure that everybody knows what their job is, where they're supposed to be. There's no confusion. I think he's definitely, you know, been doing that this season. I think he's just, I mean, you just look at the competitor that he is too, you know, and I think just the way he competes, it's contagious, you know, and I think that's something that, you know, we all kind of feed off of him as well.
When you guys are pointing things out in meeting rooms, how does he do that in a way that everybody gets on board with?
Yeah, I mean, in my eyes, you know, it's pretty simple. It's when we're sitting in those meeting rooms and, you know, watching practice or something like that. Yeah, he's talking to one individual, but it's known that anybody could really be in that spot. So, you know, when 17 talks, you know, everybody in that room is listening to make sure that if you are in that spot, what he said to me, you know, Curtis might be listening just in case he's in that spot. So everybody just, you know, listens when he speaks for sure.
You've been here. How have you seen him just grow in his knowledge of the game? He's competing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things since I've been here, just as far as the communication aspect when we're on the field, the different looks that a defense may give us, the route, changing a route, you know, whatever it is. I think that's been one of the main things that I've seen that's definitely been a lot better recently, is just making sure that, you know, when you are communicating with somebody, making sure that they give eyes. And, you know, I'm looking at him, you know, it's as the game's going, it's so fast paced that it's kind of hard. It gets hard to just like, you know, you just point something out and maybe he didn't see it. You know, he's really good at making sure that like he gets your attention so you understand the adjustment that he's making.
Asking you to go into details, how much do things expand in the playbook when you get to the postseason? Because I know at the end of the year, Josh said, we're walking that fine line right now. I'm not showing too much.
I think it's important that we, as we're doing, it's don't overcomplicate things. You know what I'm saying? Like what got us here, right? You know, we've been just playing, you know, very balanced ball, running the ball well, passing the ball well, receivers, tight ends, anybody running around, getting to their spots where they're supposed to be, man coverage, winning. You know, just the little things, the simple things, blocking in the run game. Like, it's the simple things and the fundamentals that got us here. So not overcomplicating and sticking to us.
The receiver screen game obviously has been a good part of the offense and worked well. Just kind of, what do you want to say about your fellow receivers blocking?
Yeah, well, Mac, actually, I every Tuesday I order him a Picasso's pizza. They know if it's a screen or if a bubble or whatever it is, and they're blocking for me multiple times. Like, ask and I'll figure out, you know, to make sure that I get you some. So I remember once I did the Picasso's deal, I think it was a joke at first. Mac was just like, "Hey, send me a pizza," and I was like, "You for real?" Like, I mean, you take care of me on those blocks, you know. So every Tuesday, Mac, I text my guys and say, "Put in Mac's order for me, please," and within an hour and a half, it's there. So, yeah.
Do you guys in the receiver room, besides that, like, does the receiver coach hand out gold stars or anything, or is that like a film thing that you like, kind of a gritty, dirty work recognition?
Yeah, I think it's just a mindset. You know, a lot of wideouts don't really want to block. You know, we take pride in that. It doesn't have to be, you know, a kill shot every time by any means. It's just doing your job. I mean, a lot of times, like I said, wideouts and may not want to get, you know, their hands dirty, but we've kind of taken it upon ourselves to make sure that when it is a run play, like, we're going to treat it like we're getting the ball. We're going to do that play full out and go all out and make sure that we do our job.
Outside these walls, a lot is made about the fact that this team is back in this stage, and in years prior, just haven't gotten the results you guys wanted. In here, you know, you guys are just focused on Sunday. What's in the past is in the past. But knowing how important Sunday is just to the growth of this organization, how do you guys, just in this locker room, continue to keep it on Sunday and not let that big picture creep in?
Yeah, I mean, I think we do a really good job at, we know who we're playing and what time we play, you know, Sunday. But I think we do a really good job at, you know, today was a Thursday practice, and let's make sure that we focus in on the details today and on what we're trying to do today, the plays today. Tomorrow is a Friday practice. We're going to focus on Friday and what Friday is and what it means to us. You know, the attention to detail throughout our meetings, really just putting one foot in front of the other and focusing on the now. I think the moment you start to look ahead, stuff can get a little complicated in your head, and it just might you start to overthink. I think we do a really good job of just focusing on what we're doing right here, right now.
Matt calling that blocking for you on wide receiver screens. Obviously, the physicality always ramps up in the postseason, but considering what the weather's going to be like on Sunday and the team that you guys are playing, how much of Sunday is just sort of matching their level of physicality?
Yeah, we definitely, we're going to bring it. I think for us, everything's a mindset. We talk about just things that we can control, and that's our level of play. We control, wideouts as wideouts we control when he calls a run play, going out there and blocking. When he calls a pass play, getting to our spots. Everything that we control, we really make sure that we focus on. And like I said before, it's just all mindset. You got to have your mind ready to go for it.
Obviously, you guys get to play another week, and this is what you're obviously working for the entire season. But obviously, the stakes get elevated too.
Yeah, we've talked about all week, really all year. The greatest reward for doing is being able to do more. I forgot who that quote is from, but I think that's been a good mindset for us. And the focus all week has just been on our preparation, on our headspace, our style of play, something that we've been building on all year. So making sure we're prepared, making sure we're doing the right things on the practice field, in the classroom, in the film room, but not pressing too much. We don't have to do anything different. We don't have to do anything special. It's really just maintaining our fundamentals and our mindset this week.
Is it nerves? Is it excitement? Is it how would you describe the emotion?
Yeah, I think there's a very fine line between nervousness and excitement. I feel like if you're nervous, you're thinking something bad's going to happen, but if you're excited, you think something good's going to happen. So I think that's all about the mindset that you have to take. You have to be excited, expecting something good to happen, and not, what if this happens or what if that happens? And that excitement kind of builds from confidence, controlling the things we can't control, but not being worried about weather or anything like that might distract you from what's important.
Can you reverse engineer that almost and kind of get yourself excited to put yourself in the right spot for it? Take the nervousness away. Obviously, like you said, if you believe that excitedness is expecting something good, well, if I make myself excited, I'm going to believe something good's going to happen.
I think if I find myself being too nervous, I ask myself, what am I nervous about? What if, this play doesn't work, or what if something happens? And you just got to reframe that, because being nervous and anxious about something isn't going to change anything. If I'm worried it's going to snow 3 feet, all I'm going to be doing the whole week is making myself a wreck about something I can't control. So it's about reframing that nervousness into, man, I can't wait. I know this play is going to work. I know these big plays are going to happen. I trust in my guys. And that excitement kind of builds, like I just said, with that confidence that you build on the practice field and in the film room.
What do you remember about Terran's pick six, which was actually 4 years ago today?
Wow. That was the play of the game for sure. I think, wasn't that like his second one in back-to-back games or something crazy?
I think he had one earlier that year against Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes.
It was earlier that season, yes.
That might have been that.
Sunday Night Football. It was the end of the first half.
There's very few things better as an offense than seeing a pick six, because you're, sitting down on the bench, watching the defense do their thing, getting warmed up, and then you watch them go score a touchdown, do our job for us. I'm like, okay, we get an extra break, and we just put 7 on the board as a team. So that play was incredible. Our defense always talks about wanting to be a good offense as well. Set us up with good field position and also scoring points. So that play was huge. Definitely remember it.
Is there a sense that we can do a lot better than we did the first time we played the Ravens offensively?
Earlier this year?
Yeah.
Honestly, we're not really thinking too much about that. We've watched some film from it, but what week was that in the year?
4.
Yeah, so we've had 13 other games, or 14 now. So it's kind of been, as an offense, just the identity we've been building, that everyone eats mindset. We've been building that confidence every week. As soon as you start thinking, what if this game goes like the last one, which was, 3 months ago, you're just going to spiral and it's not going to be good for you. So for us, it's just about focusing on this week and what we can do to get ready.